Hello, I'm Orestria, and this is Patch Watch. And you've probably already noticed that I have no voice. It's okay. Yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna try not to talk too much, even though this series is nothing but me talking. Alright. First off, a general change to the dampen magic talent. They felt like the counterplay for it wasn't quite what they wanted. So it now lasts longer, but you have less charges. This is so that it's more obvious when you have it active or not, so people can try and save their spells if they're paying attention. Yep. Now let's get into it. Falstad's Mighty Gust has had its its cooldown increased. It used to be 40 seconds, it's now 60 seconds. Basically, in the past, no one ever took Mighty Gust. Everybody took Hinterland Blast, or whatever it used to be called, the damaging ult. And now tides have turned, and people are getting more value out of Gust than they really wanted. So what they've done is made it so that it's still available very frequently, and you can still use it to make plays. It's just less of a panic button, less of something you can overuse. Illidan has had some tweaking to try and tone him down a little bit. Or is that? More to try and mess around with his talent choices, actually. So his trait is granting him a little bit less healing per hit, and the talent that gives him basic attack healing during sweeping strike has also had its healing reduced. The friend or foe talent, the one that allows you to use your Q to go to allies, it also gives you a range increase to your dive, and that range increase has been decreased. So instead of a passive range increase of 33%, it's 20% now. Also, the reflexive block talent that gives him block when he dives, it used to give 3 charges, and it now gives you 2. This makes a lot of sense to me because I can't think of anything offhand that gives block that gives 3 charges. Most block things are 2 charges, so seems fair. Battered Assault has had its damage bonus increased to 125%, where it used to be 120%. I don't know if I can do this without all the shielding stuff. Illidan's Unbound talent, which can allow you to move through obstacles.
Why not?
It used to give you a cooldown reduction of 5 seconds, but only if you didn't hit anything with it, like if you didn't hit minions or heroes. Now it will still give you cooldown reduction if you hit minions, but not if you hit heroes. But the cooldown reduction has been decreased, so it's only 4 seconds, not 5 seconds. Kael'thas! Kael'thas, they're trying to tune him up because his win rate is still not where they would like it to be. And I think that's fair, because I think, in general, you're better suited picking Li Ming or Jaina or Vala than Kael'thas. So, his health has been increased by something like 70 at base level, and his health regen, of course, has been increased, because health regen is just always increased when they increase health. Flame Strike's base range has been increased by 10%. So it's supposed to give him a bit more of a defensive ability by being able to cast at range, more like what Li Ming can do.
Just warming up.
Between that increased range and the increased health, he should be better able to kite and kill things at a distance like Li Ming. Flame Strike's base damage has also been increased, but don't get too excited because it no longer gets a damage increase when you use your Verdant Spears to enhance it. So, you know, you don't have that bonus damage, and instead you have a more steady damage rate from it. Living Bombs, damage over time, and explosion damage have also both been increased. And Gravity Lapse, his little stun tornado thing, its cooldown and mana have been decreased very slightly, like 1 second and 5 mana respectively. And
Shouldn't be here.
the talent that gives you back mana when you hit a hero, its mana has been decreased because the mana of the thing has been decreased. And also the talent
I am so
that
good.
increases
I
your
astound myself.
attack damage to enemies that you
Where
hit
to?
in your stun, that bonus damage has been increased. I'm playing as Li Ming here, and that's because she's received a few changes. I feel like it's kind of a nerf, but it's not such a it's not a huge nerf, so it's not gonna be a big deal. Like, I think she'll still be perfectly fine. They did say that they weren't specifically trying to lower her win rate or anything, that they felt it was pretty okay.
My spells are ready.
They wanted to change some of her talent diversity, I guess, is what they're saying. So, what did they actually do? Dominance, this right here, it used to give you 1/4 of your maximum health whenever you were near a takedown, and now gives you 1/5 of your maximum health, which it was probably pretty crazy before, to be honest, but it was fun. And then Triumvirate, this has had the cooldown reduction reduced. Ugh. So it used to reduce the cooldown by 6 seconds, and is now 5 seconds. Also, with this talent, the one that gives you additional damage to faraway enemies, this no longer causes Triumvirate to deal reduced damage to enemies that are closer to Li Ming.
If this were easy, I would do it.
I'm not entirely sure how that interaction was working out before. Those aren't the talents that I took, so I can't compare them very easily. Also, Arcane Orb in general has had its damage reduced, whether it's the nearby damage or the faraway damage. In exchange, its cooldown has been decreased from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Its mana cost has been reduced by 10. Her teleport, Calamity. The area of effect of the damage is reduced by 10%. So when I teleport, yeah, okay. So this inner circle is, how the area in which I will cause damage, and the outer circle is how far I can teleport. Disintegrate has had its cooldown increased. It used to be 20 seconds, it's now 30 seconds. It sounds like from the developer comments that they didn't like people using it for wave clear or like shrine clear on internal shrines and that kind of stuff. It's still plenty short, and I mean, your goal in life is still to get resets, so whatever. And then final change, Illusionist will instantly refresh teleport if you take a certain chunk of damage at a time. The chunk used to be 15% of your max health, and it's now 20% of your maximum health. Worth noting it's at the same tier as Glass Cannon, so it means your normal Li Ming maximum health. So you have to take a fair amount of burst to get that, but I mean, the rest of Illusionist is, the main reason you take Illusionist is to increase your range, not necessarily for that reset. Like, that reset is good, don't get me wrong. But the range is so good. Especially if you're already doing damage with it, you know. Tychus! They really like the way that they're building Tychus to be a tank buster, however, they feel like his win rate has not been what they want. So what they did, they increased his health and health regen. His health was increased by a fair amount, like 150 at base level. Also, they felt that his Master Assassin quest talent was overtuned. So what they've done is they've made it so that you get less bonus per stack. So your attack speed bonus is 1% per stack, and the maximum number of stacks has increased. So it's going to take you longer to get to the end of that quest and reach maximum, and it's going to just not quite be as much value so fast. Now to the main theme of this patch, which is please see Thrall's developer comments. Seriously, they say that on like everything. Basically, they have changed a lot of ultimates, specifically ultimates that either don't get chosen a lot or don't have a very good win rate. And and they're trying to tweak them to make them more appealing. And a lot of what they've done for most of them is just add damage. Even if the main point of, like, the main reason you take the ultimate isn't damage, they've still just increased the damage to try and sweeten the pot and make it more worthwhile. So, the first one is Thrall. And actually, they didn't buff Thrall's lesser talent, which makes it kind of weird that they put that development comment by him. But rather, they have slightly nerfed his dominant talent. So Sundering Stun used to be 1.5 seconds and is now 1.25 seconds. Next, Monstrosity, Evolved Monstrosity has more maximum stacks. If you're not aware of how Evolved Monstrosity works, you get stacks for minion kills that give it more damage. It can now get more stacks, which means it can get more damage. And to try and help you get that extra damage, it will also it will also has more health, so it's more likely to survive long enough to get that damage. Brightwing's Emerald Wind, which is kind of like Falstad's Gust, but it's in a circle around her instead of in one direction. What they did, they're trying to improve the non-healing talents of healers to make them more viable. Especially in like a double healer situation where you might not both need a healing ult. So what they did is, by choosing Emerald Wind, you just passively, all the time, increase Brightwing's, increase the healing of Brightwing's Healing Mist. So just boom, 8% extra healing for taking your ultimate all the time, not just when your ultimate's up. Is that worth losing all that maneuverability on a low maneuverability hero? No, but, you know, it's there. Lily's Water Dragon has had its damage increased and its mana cost cut in half. Malfurion's Twilight Dream, his Silence ultimate, that I'm pretty sure half the people watching this might not even remember he has. Now if you take that ultimate, you will passively have more mana regen as Malfurion. So, it'll just give you 1.5 mana per second all the time. Tyranda's Starfall. It's had its damage per second increased, its cooldown reduced, and its mana reduced. Uther's Divine Storm has had its stun duration increased. It used to be 1.5 seconds, it's now 1.75. ETC's Stage Dive has had its damage increased. Johanna's Falling Sword has had its damage increased. Muradin's Haymaker. Muradin's Haymaker, in case you're not familiar, is when you walk up and punch someone with your ultimate, and it sends them flying like a bowling ball. And they can even fall back and hit their allies. It used to be the allies that were hit by the flying ally took 25% of the damage, they now take 100% of the damage. So it doesn't matter if it's the bowling pin or the bowling ball, it's taking full Haymaker damage.
Why not?
Other than that, just a few bug fixes. They fixed the bug that made Kael'thas able to cast a Living Bomb for free. In case you didn't know, that's why he was banned from Hero League.
Should I even
Like, removed from the game from Hero League for a little while, because he was straight up broken as heck. They also fixed an issue where Kerrigan could not ravage to stuff like hammer mines, even though they specifically said she could after the last patch.
Here we go.
And they fixed a Sergeant Hammer tooltip that used to reference a talent that she didn't even
I knew we could do this.
Victory! Alright, that's it for Patch Watch. Hopefully by next week all of the plants will have died so my hay fever will go away. Bye-bye! Not ready to leave yet? You can watch me play more HotS, watch me play HotS with Demonac, or watch Demonac and I fight over what show to watch in Anime Indecision. I'm gonna choke on my cough drop.